Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode, another edition of Speak on Our Podcast, and I'm your host, Darius Silver, aka Mr. GQ, back for another conversation, back with another hot topic, and back to bring some more relevancy and some more consistency and topics that will help you, motivate you, and inspire you to speak up. So, with the new year being 2026, and I have time for a fresh start. I want to be another hot topic for you guys, and that's around. You're watching the Speak on Our Podcast right now. So let me ask you this: what are you doing if you ever hit the subscribe button right now? What are you doing if you ever hit the share or like button right now? And what are you doing if you haven't commented something right now, or shared your opinion, or spoke up on something? So do me a favor. Before you continue, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and most importantly, speak up. I guess you could say relationships, which is very, very important. It's my favorite topic to talk about. So if you're a new viewer, make sure you pay attention. If you're a returning viewer, make sure you stay with me. Let's ride. So for today's episode is a topic that I feel strongly about, or a topic that everybody should feel strongly about, and it's your partner. And in my case, it should be about, and this is for the fellas, to be fair frank with you guys, this episode is for the fellas, how they feel. So, all the fellas out there, listen closely. It's a question for you guys. Can you, as a man, be with a woman that makes more money than you? Or be with a woman that's the breadwinner in the relationship? Let me know. Yes or no? I'll wait. That's the topic of the day. That's the hot topic of the day. Can you, as a man, be with a woman that makes more money than you, the same as much money as you are, or the breadwinner of the family? I'm gonna give my opinion on it, and if I can actually do it, and I wanna explain to you why some men can't and some men can. I'm gonna start with the first one. Can I be with a woman that makes more money than me? Yes, because I don't have the ego where I have to be, as most people would say 20, 30, 40 years ago, as the man that provides. I'm not stuck in that mindset where a man has to do everything. A man has to make sure he's setting the rules, setting the house, how the way life goes for the family, telling the wife what she can do, what she cannot do, what's with the children, etc. I don't need to be. Yes, I'm a man. Us men do have pride, but I don't need to make. I'm not living in a day and age in the 50s and 60s and 70s where the man has to do everything, has to make everything, and the woman stays home. I'm not a fan of that. Will never be a fan of that. And I'm not a man that's stuck in that age. Yes, you call me an old soul. Yes, so a person that loves old school love and whatever, old school relationships and values. But I'm not in that sense. I'm not stuck in those ways where you have to be like that. I have to live in a time, that day and age where you have to do so. So personally, can I be with a woman that makes more money than me and don't have a problem with that? I personally can be with a woman that makes more money than me, because my ego will not get in the way. My pride will not get in the way. Will it take some time to get used to? Of course, we're men. We alphas. Men are alphas. But that is not to say that women can't be alphas as well in a family or in a relationship or together. That's what it's called, a relationship. That's what it's called in marriage. That's what it's called, a husband and wife. You're supposed to have common ground. You're supposed to be okay with each other, having goals, having ways to help each other reach those goals. And if a woman's goal is to make as much money as she can in the business, so whatever she's doing, whatever she's striving for in her career, push her to it, help her get to that. It's only gonna make not just her better, it's gonna make both of you guys better and the family. It's probably gonna motivate you to work towards something that you want to work towards. So personally, I don't mind being with a woman or being in a marriage with someone who does make more money than me. I don't know. There's some men out there who just can't. And I'm gonna be the first one to say I respect them for that's how their mindset is. But I'm not gonna say that they're wrong. But I will say they're being closed-minded. I'm gonna say that very, very clearly for the men out there. Men who can't be with a woman who makes more money than they are very, very closed-minded, respectfully. And I'm not gonna sit there and shame a man for being like that, but I'm also gonna tell a man straight up, for the fellas. I'm telling you, this episode's for the fellas. I'm gonna tell you that you're being very, very close-minded, because men are supposed, in this day and age, have changed from 20, 30, 40 years ago. There's some men out there still stuck in those days, but times have changed, times have evolved, and why can't you evolve? Yes, that men who grew up in a very, very alpha male household, father household, are used to men providing, used for men to set the stage being a man. But also you gotta realize that when you have a lady, a woman, a wife, or whatsoever, a girlfriend, that it's your job to help her strive for the best, help her reach new goals, help her reach her potential, and that might be a career, and she finds a career she wants to be in, healthcare, business, entertainment, entrepreneur, all those things. Help her. It's gonna make the relationship better and stronger. So why not? So stop. So my advice to all the fellas out there, young or old, is don't be close-minded for one, but also if you want to find a right lady in your life, if you want to find a good woman in your life so you can actually see yourself with and being a woman, one, stop being close-minded, but also, don't be closed off. And some men out there who say, oh, if she can be the most beautiful woman in the world, has all the attributes, all the characteristics that you look for, and the only thing that sets it off is that she makes more money than he does, and that turns him off. So my advice to the fellas out there, don't be afraid to let a woman lead. Don't be afraid to have a partner that stands beside you instead of standing behind you. That's my quote unquote unique speak up advice for you guys. Don't be afraid to let a woman to stand beside you, in front of you, or whichever, because again, this is the most famous quote out there. When you two quotes that I doubt you have to live by as a man when you are in a relationship or in a marriage. Number one, as a marriage, happy wife, happy life. We all know that one. But my personal one, actually, I think it might be better than the first one I just said. Happy girl, happy world. Everything goes on when you're in a relationship or a marriage. Those two things are the most important things. Happy wife, happy life. Happy girl, happy world. So that's another thing. The biggest issues in relationships besides infidelity whatsoever is financial, money. And I think, I could go on and on and on and on about financials in relationships, about the man's perspective or woman's perspective, but I'm gonna keep it on this particular subject. One of the biggest issues in relationships is besides infidelity is financials, money. When men feel like they can't be a man and it revolves around money, that truly, I don't want to say ends relationships, but makes the relationship go downhill. As sometimes it's at a very, very fast pace or a very, very slow pace. But those are the two main things in a relationship that, at least in that particular things, that starts divisiveness, starts separationist whatsoever, is number one, infidelity, of course, but financials and money whatsoever. So I feel like men out there should already get in their mindset where money should not be a factor in finding a girl that you like, or finding a woman that catches your eye, or finding a woman that you want to be with that you like. I don't care, because you understand, you want a little family, you want to find a girl or find a woman that you can bring home to mom or to dad, to grandma, to granddaddy. But in order to find that, you can't be so closed off. So there's some men out there that can't be with a woman that makes more money than they do. And again, all of us can't be rich. All of us can't be born with $1 million. All of us can't be born with a silver spoon in the mouth. But that's the part of working towards something. As long as that you're working towards something and have goals in your life, no matter if you make less money than a woman, I guarantee you that's going to change everyone's perspective about you in a good positive way. If a woman sees you working hard or have a goal towards something that you feel like she sees, okay, my man is trying to accomplish this. My man is out there working to provide this for our family, no matter if it's a little bit less than she's making or at the same pace a little bit more. She sees that as a wife or as a girlfriend, as a fiance. If she sees that, it's almost going to make relationships stronger. So don't be afraid that at the current stage in your life right now, if you're making such and such money, it's a little bit less than the girl that you're dating, a little bit less than the one that you're in a marriage with, or a little bit less of a girl that you're about to marry. Don't be afraid to stand behind that as long as you have goals and ways to accomplish something. Or in some sense, if a woman that you're with just happens to make more money than you in general, or always make more money than you in general, that's your wife. That's the one you want to be with for the rest of it. As long as you accept her and she accepts you, don't be afraid to accept the situation. That's a gem right there. A very, very smooth gem right there. Don't be afraid to accept the situation. I'm gonna say it again. If she accepts you and you accept her, don't be afraid to accept the situation. That's my hot topic for you guys, and a question for you guys to think about. And ask your, not ask yourself this, but ask your peers around you. All the fellas out there, if you're a lady out there, ask the fellas around you that same question. Can you be with a woman that makes more money than you? That's the topic of the day. That's the topic of this episode. That's a topic that you should be thinking about for you and for yourself, all for the fellas episode. And if you're a lady out there, do you agree? I'm gonna end this episode based on an open-ended question. For women out there, can you be with a man that makes less than you? That's an open-ended question. I'll get into this episode. That's an open-ended question. I already addressed the first topic. Can a man be with a woman, or should a man feel comfortable being with a woman that makes more money than he does? He should, in this day and age, in 2026, and going on forward, he should. This is not 1950. This is not 1960. It's not 1970 or 80 or 90s, right? Times have changed, things have changed, and men should change as well, as long as women should change. Society will continue to evolve, especially in relationships, especially in marriages. Think about that. I'm bringing these hot topics on and on and on. I want you to think about, because it's about helping others think differently, feel differently, and find new ways for others to help them speak up in their own relationships, in their own life, that's to help them be better, right? So think about that. I'm gonna say it again. I personally, Darius Silver, can be okay with being with a woman who makes more money than me, because I know that what I'm trying to accomplish in life. I know that I have goals. I know that I'm not going to stop until I reach those goals and whatsoever. So, and as long as my lady in the future sees that, and that's if I find a woman that is making more money than me, or if the situation whatsoever is that like that, I'm okay with that. My pride's not going to be in the way. Yes, you can still be a man and still be an alpha, but not let that pride get in the way. There's a difference. You can still be a man and still be an alpha without letting your pride and ego get in the way. If you are an alpha, and so-called alpha, and you still stay letting your pride and ego get in the way, are you a true alpha? Because you can't sacrifice. Alphas know when to sacrifice and when to let things be. Think about that. For the fellas out there. This is for you. So listen closely, think about it, and think about changing your way of thinking. Right? So that's for today's episode. A smooth episode, a very, very hot topic episode that I hope that makes you guys think and reflect, especially for the fellas, because I'm a man, and I'm always gonna look out for the fellas. Always gonna look out for the man's perspective, because that's what I do. That's what I do best. So let's go and end this thing out the right way. If you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, of course, hit that subscribe button, and comment. Leave something. Leave your opinion, and if you leave your opinion, I will respond. And also, if you agree or disagree, I'll still respond. So leave your comment, leave a comment, and hopefully I get to see you back in the next episode. So if you're a new viewer, make sure you pay attention. And if you're a returning viewer, stay with me. Stay mellow, keep that mellow mind, stay focused. And as my man Cam Newton says, you got one finger, one pinky, one thumb, one love. Boom.